Hi everyone, Skillsy Shooter here. Welcome to the third episode of the QuadFeed podcast. On today's show, we talk a bit about the EB Expo in Sydney, we discuss some recent TV finales, and then we talk a bit about where the fuck Ronald has gone. Where is he? And was he kidnapped by KFC? All that and more on QuadFeed. Hey everyone, welcome, and this is episode 3 of the QuadFeed podcast. Skillsy Shooter here with my usual lads -1, so it's a triple feed this week, but I'm sure you will appreciate the lack of food and chewing and bowls clinking and excessive bragging about Mario Kart 64. Maybe that's a reason why he's not here. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert, maybe,
yes.
but we'll see. That's coming up at halftime, so make sure you stick around for that. We've got the exploits of the infamous Ron versus Ben showdown. Interesting results, some would say, but
Very interesting.
that'll be my teaser over and done with. Welcome, Beniamino. How are we, sir?
Hello.
You all right,
Not too bad. How are you?
All right. Notes from your tagline. Well, we'll go a little bit more into detail about that.
Yes.
A little bit
Very
further on.
interesting.
Mr. Castro, Chris, not applicable.
Hello.
More wob wob. What's that in reference to?
More wub wub. It's from
Is that a
the
cowbell?
Borderlands.
All right.
They advertised that the game would have more wub wub.
Ah. If there's anything
It's,
that a game needs, it's more wob.
Like, because dubstep became popular, so it's just a pop culture reference.
I see. Let it not be said that we're not on top of popular culture. As I sit here saying, what is that in reference to? Yeah. Oh, Borderlands. Oh, one of the biggest games last year.
Yeah.
Awesome. Good job, Gav. So I've got a few topics, some of which a couple of the guys will be a bit more au fait and knowledgeable about, but I thought I'd start with something relatively generic. For international viewers, we've got a thing here called the EB Expo, which is a gaming expo. I suppose you could loosely call it PAX-like or Eurogamer-like or Tokyo Game Show-like. You could say that.
Slash one ginormous advertisement.
Yeah, for
Just-
EB Games.
Pre-order everything. Everything you can pre-order. Here, pre-order here, pre-order here. I don't know if they're like that at other shows, but they really push it. Not that I was there, but it was like that last year.
It was like that last year, and the formula is exactly the same this year. So Chris and I went to that on the Friday night. Went there after work, which gave a good amount of time for the queues to build up to play a certain amount of games. Got to have a hands-on with Call of Duty Ghosts, which, you know, in true marketing fashion, the guy at the front of the queue decided to say to us that it's only a half an hour wait when it's probably closer to an hour. If you're watching this, you bastard, you got me. You bloody well got me.
Absolute liar.
Absolute liar. I thought he was my boy. It's like I'm not some snotty 16-year-old kid who's like, hey, how long till we get to play Ghosts? It's like, come on, man. Seriously, level with me. How long from here? Oh, what, 20, 30 minutes maybe? Fucking an hour later, we've only reached that corner elbow. And then, of all things, I mean, I thought I was doing okay in the Karma Stakes this week. More on that later on. You know, and then all of these sort of the upgraded tickets where you get to, you know, go head of the queue kind of thing.
Sure.
Yeah, the most stereotypical gamers you'd ever seen. Not that I'm alienating you. Yeah, spoiler alert, I'm not alienating you at all. But yeah, so we're at the top of the queue, and then up comes what felt like 24 people there just pontificating about how bad the spawns were or are in Black Ops 2, and let's hope that they fix that this time around, and blah, 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 blah.
They were definitely diehard Call of Duty fans.
They were diehard, yeah. But we played it. So what did you think, Chris, on the whole? I mean, I don't know if you're how exposed or how dedicated you are to Call of Duty in this current gen at the moment. But what did you think, sort of on the whole?
No, I thought it was good. You know, there was just that little bit of difference which made it feel like a new game. Like I had never worked with the dogs before. I'm not sure if that's exclusive to the Ghosts or if that was out on a DLC. But I found that interesting.
Well, it's only been a kill streak in the past kind of thing. So I think on this one, it's a fairly low level kill streak.
Yeah, there seem to be a lot more of them.
Yeah. Whether or not they're
unless
distracting or not, I don't know. But I suppose time will tell on that sort of thing.
Yeah.
What do you think of the feel though? Like,
The feel.
yeah, just
I
like
don't
the
know,
pacing of it.
Yeah, it did seem like, well, unfortunately we only got to play that one map, but it felt a lot smaller. So the gameplay was a lot faster.
Yep.
Which trying to get used to the Xbox One control threw me for a bit of a loop at the start.
I'm glad you touched on that. Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Yeah, after a while I started getting the hang of it. But after that, that's when once I was in the feel of the game,
Yeah.
it became really fast, and I liked it. I liked it. The only problem was the grenades. Could not work out. The grenades just never went far enough.
You touched on that before, and it's something that I use C4 a lot in Black Ops 2, and it's not like you want to be like Troy Aikman or something and just like be able to hurl these C4 packages from one side of the map to the other. That'd be ridiculous. But yeah, there was a distinct lack of verticality to these things, almost like you just got given a pamphlet at Central Station. You're like, yeah, I don't really want that. And you just throw it 3 feet from you, which in reality would kill everyone within a 20-foot radius kind of thing. But yeah, that whole like, arming mechanism of, you look like a water canteen with an LED light on the top.
That was the other thing, yeah. That one grenade, it just took ages to throw. You had to twist it and put the plunger in, and
I mean,
ridiculous.
that might be some sort of attachment or like a sleight of hand variation kind of thing to make that motion a lot quicker or give you a bit of a further distance. Like, is it fast hands? I think it's fast hands at the moment, or dexterity. I can't remember what one it is. Where that weapon swap and that grenade toss is a lot more fluid and a lot quicker. Yeah, I did notice that though. That was kind of frustrating because I flashed myself a couple of times. Just, what the fuck? Just firing blindly into the sky. Like if there was
I did the same.
If there was a jumbo
When
jet flying
away
overhead.
to throw it through, and it fell at my feet, just gone. Unfortunately, I was leading my team at the time, so I think about the whole team got wiped out when I flashbanged myself.
Were you on the team that lost?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got smashed, didn't you? You got absolutely smashed. It was like 75. I don't know whether or not it was one of their new game modes, but it was 75-26. And I'm pleased to announce I was on that winning team. Didn't lead the lobby. There was a guy that went like, wasn't it like 24-3? Or something ridiculous?
Yeah, there was
48-3?
Jeez.
It was a truly ridiculous number. I think he was just there for...
Was he the guy that shouted out when he eventually got killed?
Possibly.
Because I remember shooting somebody and I could hear somebody just, cursing and yelling abuse.
That sounds
so
like no Call of Duty player I've ever come across. What do you mean? You shot them and they swore at you. You should report them, man. You should really report them.
Yeah.
Scumbags. Jeez. Yeah.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No.
I was just going to say, I'm not sure if this is a kind of like a taboo question to ask and whether like real Call of Duty people want to accept it or not.
8.5
But if
inches.
you were going to... Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
That's limp as well.
Yeah.
But if you wanted to be really critical, could you say that it really is just a Black Ops 2 like reskin? Or is there enough changes in it to say that it's like a completely different game and all that sort of stuff? Or is it just more of the same? That being said, who cares if that's real or not? Who cares? It's a game. You have fun and all that sort of stuff. It's not a big deal if it is. Because I thought Black Ops 2 was going to be like that, and I got it and I had heaps of fun with it anyway.
Yeah.
But is it pretty much that as well?
Chris?
In the one level that you played?
Chris is probably a good barometer for
we
this.
only got that one level, so
Yeah.
that level was a lot different just because of its layout. It was quite small, but because of the layout, you actually didn't end up punching up as much as you thought it would be, even though it was quite a small level, just the way everything was set out,
Yeah.
which was quite different to the other, Black Ops 2. You always seem to be running into groups of people. You can't spread out as much, even on the big maps.
And for I suppose in terms of map size, it was probably comparable to, I want to say, I'm tempted to say Nuketown, just with a bit of verticality to it. But I think that would probably be, even Nuketown is probably, it's a very small map, obviously. But the map that we were playing on was the map that they've been showing in every single, in pretty much every single trailer that we've seen, or at least playable trailers that you might have seen at a multiplayer launch event, or just since then. It was that, I don't even know the name of the map, but it was one that it's got a lot of stairs, some forklift areas. There's some rubble, and looked like a place that had just been hit with an atom bomb kind of map. But yeah, relatively small. And the funny thing was that we had the headsets on. The amount of people that didn't know how to read that map, even though the map has been significantly improved, it was like, fuck, man, where the fuck this guy's coming from, man? It's like, I felt like saying to them, but I probably would have got shouted down. It's like, look where we are. Okay, step one, look where we are. Can you see a quadrant of this mini-map where there is not us? Because, even the mechanics of the game know not to insta-spawn you right in front of someone's underpants.
That actually did happen. I did spawn in the middle of the firefight in that map.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I kind of died straight away. But I think it was just
only
that
you could do that, Chris. Only you could do that.
I think it was just that the people were running at that time, and by the time that I died and respawned, they had run that blank.
Yeah.
And were in the area where I was respawning. If they were standing still, that probably wouldn't happen.
But I finished positive, I'm happy to say. Using a gun that I don't usually favour on a map that I'd clearly never played before, on a game that I'd never played before either. So I was kind of happy how the pickup factor was obviously good, and that's, I suppose, one of the biggest benefits to Call of Duty. If you've played any sort of version of it in the past, there's not so much distance that it's like moving from COD to Battlefield or anything like that. So that impressed me. The speed as well. The biggest thing that I find moving back to like Modern Warfare 3, I've got friends who just flat out won't play Black Ops 2. Whether or not it's some sort of aversion to the Treyarch symbol looking like a dick and a pair of balls, I don't know. That's what it initially was, and I think that was what, prior to them even playing the game, they kind of took issue with that. But going back to Modern Warfare 3, it just feels like I'm running through wallpaper paste.
The Call of Duty games have always been fast-paced.
Yeah, but they've got incrementally faster, I think, or maybe it's just a side effect of things being optimized and smoother as we've sort of got to the end of current gen consoles. But just going back to Modern Warfare 3, I'm surprised if I even do half as good as what I do on Black Ops 2, and the stats kind of show that. I can look at my stats from Black Ops, the first Black Ops, well, Call of Duty 4, Black Ops, Modern Warfare, didn't get into Modern Warfare 2, didn't play that online, Modern Warfare 3, and Black Ops 2, and my stats have gradually increased as you keep going on. So and I think that's largely down to, you know, knowing how particular guns behave, and I suppose putting a bit more time into each version that comes along. So, but I mean that's to be expected, I imagine. What else was there? So I was using SMGs, yeah, the grenade thing, the controller, the thumbsticks. They feel a little bit smaller.
It did feel small.
The thumbsticks feel smaller. I appreciate the knurling on the outside. That sort of cross-hatched, grippy, sort of to the shoulders to it. That was good. The thumbsticks are a lot looser. Did you find that, Chris?
Yeah, I wasn't, because unfortunately I don't play the Xbox that much, but I did feel considerably lighter than what I thought it was going to be. And the thumbsticks definitely feel different. It was a lot easier to move them. With, you know, before it was, you know, they felt like there was a little bit resistance.
Yeah.
This one, it's quite easy to get that sensitivity up and just flick around and increase your movement quite a lot.
And it's probably stuff that, I mean, not that you get any time to do that when you're waiting an hour to play a game that you only get to play for 5 minutes. I mean, you're not going to fuck about and go into the options and go, right, look sensitivity 3, 4, yeah, I don't know about that. It's just like kind of get in and try and massage out a good game if you can, kind of thing. But I mean, we touched on it last week, that with the whole control freaks kind of thing. That domed top felt like it was a little bit taller. So obviously with levers, the longer the lever is, the more distance that it's gonna have. I don't know whether or not I'll actually need control freaks on this new console. Oh, and the other thing, these buttons, the shoulder buttons
were quite smaller, I think.
Yeah.
So that's what I thought when I first picked it up. I was like, oh, is it too small? But after a while, it just seemed to fit into the hand. So
you mean in overall size? You mean?
Yeah, it felt a lot smaller, and even the thumbsticks felt like they were smaller diameter.
Like, hopefully I haven't put too much weight on in my thumbs, so it's thinking that it's a side effect of my thumbs putting on weight over the last generation. But no, they definitely felt smaller, and I mean, I guess I might too. I mean, I suppose if your thumb depressed on it is the ideal width for it, then that should be good. And the other thing, the shoulder buttons. You see how there's the distinct seam between the triggers and your shoulder buttons, your bumpers?
Yeah.
There isn't that on the controller. It basically
they were almost
meshes up.
one piece.
Yeah, like where panels meet on a car. There's no sort of in between area kind of thing. So, and it feels like the width of them is almost tapes up these side bits a bit more as well. So there's more of a surface area.
Actually, yeah.
I'd have to get it in my hand again, but I don't know. Hopefully it'll be okay. It's just a case of getting used to it. That said, I haven't held a PS4 controller either, so you know, that was one of the factors you need to consider. Viewers, check out my video if you haven't. Skillsy Shooter's checklist to buying your new console. YouTube.com/Skillsy Shooter. What else was there? Forza. Take me through Forza, Chris.
Well, I don't know if I actually played it. I think it might have been a replay, but they just put the controls out there. It's
interesting.
Took a long time to load. Like, I'm not sure if that's just for the Expo, where they put in all of you can see the car from this angle, will slow-mo down the side while the game's loading. It just showed every single bit of detail of this car. It showed the wheel, it showed the door.
Yeah.
It took
Check
a
out the
ridiculous...
dust caps. Aren't these the sexiest dust caps on a McLaren you've ever seen? Check it out. He's
It
got
took
$3.50 in the glove
longer
compartment.
longer to load than to do the race. It was ridiculous.
If you looked left as you were going through the motions of your own waiting, you would have seen me button mashing. Just trying to skip these intros. I'll appreciate the intros, and they figure to be part of videos moving forward, in a very sort of Top Gear-esque filming, I suppose, photography style or filming style. But yeah, I was like, my God, if there was a queue of people behind me, I'd be having to turn around and going, yeah, I'm sorry guys, look, as you can see, I'm at the loading screen. It looks good though, doesn't it? Yeah, I'll be done in a second. My God.
If that happens for every race, that is just going to be ridiculous. It's just... unless that's their thing, that, we've got to get kids outside more. So they can do one race a day. That's all it's going to take.
Yeah, buy the game and get out there, you lads. Yeah.
And the other thing was, for some reason, that it had an auto brake. I was actually actively trying to get the high speed on the corner to smash into the wall just to see what would happen. And the car would brake going into the corners automatically.
That's
I'm
cool.
not sure if that's a big...
That's a new feature of a lot of, I think it's got an Audi or a Volvo. It's called collision mitigation controls. You just need to turn that off in the settings. So yeah, that's fine. Otherwise known as brakes, collision mitigation. They're called brakes.
Well, I was actively trying to use the car in front as a bumper car, but it would brake.
Was that in Laguna Seca?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
That was the other thing as well. I mean, if they'd set it up to be like only play this track, it's like, what, you mean a track that I've played in every single iteration of Gran Turismo and Forza previous to now? Granted, I knew the track back to front, but show me something new.
Well, I thought they would have had Bathurst up there, seeing as it was in Australia. Why would you not want to have your
good segue
first Australian track?
Yeah. I wanted someone to be driving through the streets of Tuscany or something, Murcielago or an Aventador or something suitably
Well,
exotic.
apparently PlayStation is bringing out a game like that.
That Drive Club.
Yeah, Drive Club. And it's basically, instead of racing, you just take the cars and you drive around.
I think that's included free, I think. That's a launch title that's free for subscribers, I think. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of like how if you're a Forza fan and it figures to be part of your consideration to buy an Xbox One over a PS4, then are you happy with Drive Club? Maybe. Who knows? Need for Speed. Or are you such a hardcore Gran Turismo fan, Ben, that you don't even acknowledge the existence of the word Forza, let alone the game?
No, I've never played it. I want to play it, but no one I know has it, and I don't have an Xbox, so I have no idea. But I think I've seen a few videos of it, and it looks pretty damn good, so I'd like to give it a go.
I think Forza was the first open world car game, and it sounded like that was heaps of fun. You could go and race open world with all the cars. And I think they did that way before Need for Speed.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, well, I suppose it depends what version of Need for Speed. I mean, Underground is kind of... even Hot Pursuit from years ago, that was kind of open world.
Could you do it with other people? Or was it just that one player mode? Because I was told the Forza is, open world with all the other players.
Yeah.
So you'd be driving along and you can get crashed into by somebody else.
It's funny, I only associate multiplayer of any game usually with FPSs. And it'd be funny to now, I mean, Grand Theft Auto aside, and we'll touch on that as well, whether or not I'd get as invested into into a driving game multiplayer experience versus a first-person shooter. but I'm looking forward to that very experiment when it comes out next month. Because Forza 5 is a launch title. I have pre-ordered, and I'll be reporting back. And I'll let you know if I can turn off the collision mitigation.
Yeah, and if you can speed up the...
and if I can actually play a fucking game, or will you slowly see me withering away, completing 3% of the game, considering I've been driving for the best part of 20 years.
You'll have hour-long Let's Plays, and it would just be that one race.
48 minutes of the loading screen. Look at the detail. Look at the detail. And here's the race. And the race is over. And here's the leaderboard. Yeah.
I also hear you have a big Titanfall exclusive for us from EB Games.
So exclusive that I didn't get to play it.
Yeah.
Fuck me. My God. In hindsight, I probably shouldn't have hung around the Astro stand talking to a potential future guest as long as what I did. I'll go into the detail a little bit later. But even then, they put them right next to the Ghost stand as well. So it was kind of like standing there talking to Chris, and over Chris's right shoulder, you'd see this queue gradually getting shorter, and they just bypassed the theme park sign saying 60 minutes from this spot, 30 minutes from this spot. And I'm like, you know what, Chris? Call of Duty Ghosts, we know, if we were so inclined, we could have in our hands in roughly a month's time. Titanfall, spring 2014. Interpret that how you will. Considering we've been standing here waiting for about 45 minutes, do we now go, you know what? Let's get out of here. Because as soon as we got out of the Ghost, we were talking the Ghost play. We were like, yeah, what'd you think? Yeah, it's pretty good kind of thing. Do you want to get something to eat? Yeah, let's go get something to eat. So we went and got something to eat. And then seemingly we were looking at our watch going, holy crap, it's 8:20. The Good Game live show started at 9. And we're kind of in that middle ground of, do we go Battlefield 4? Again, a game that I can, after this, I could conceivably jump on the open beta and start playing. So we did it in the completely wrong order, like 100% wrong order. It should have been Titanfall, it should have been Ghosts, and then Battlefield 4. Incidentally, spoiler alert, we didn't get to play Battlefield 4 either, but hey.
Because they both closed early, which was ridiculous.
It was, yeah. And I mean, to the organisers of EB Expo, if you happen to see this, between the hours that I'm asleep and awake, usually I do this thing called work, which I don't know. It's an up and coming thing.
Yeah, call us crazy.
Call us crazy. You'll see more and more people doing it these days. So when you have to get there from the city, I didn't get there till what, 6 o'clock in the end, Chris?
And that was a really quick time as well.
Yeah, passing shot at Sydney trains, you bastards. Seriously, why isn't there an infrastructure to take me directly to Olympic Park from Central? I should have to backtrack and go to
I can't believe that. That's the whole reason they built that train station.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, you got to jump off at another train station.
It's mental. I'll go into detail a bit more about that later. But it was in combination with the Rihanna concert as well, so that was entertaining. That was entertaining in itself. Yeah, but it felt like even though the Good Game Live went from 9 till 10:30 or whatever it was, if you base playing a game on average like an hour's wait, you only get to play 3 games between 6 and 9. And that's if you walk in the second you get there. You don't walk around and see anything else. If there's an hour wait for Battlefield 4, an hour wait for Ghosts, an hour wait for Titanfall, that's it. That's all you've done.
Yeah.
And part of that comes down to the
I just found the Titanfall one was a bit strange because it was at the Xbox stand. Mm-hmm. And they were like, oh, you can't play Titanfall, but you can play any of the other games. And you're like, well, okay, why can't we play Titanfall? And they said they were closed to clean up. yet it's in the same stand as all the other games. So
Yeah,
just
you can
seems
play
really
Rise. You
weird.
can play. What was the other one? Was it like some other game that I'm hoping my facial expression to the girl, as nice as she was, yeah, we've closed Titanfall, I'm afraid. Or you can play. I don't think it was Rise because I probably would have played Rise.
No, it was some other game.
It was,
I
wasn't
forget
it?
what it was called.
Was it Dead Rising or something?
I think maybe Dead Rising.
Maybe
Yeah.
Dead Rising, which after Ben and I's experience with Dead Island, I thought, is it kind of in the same sort of ballpark? The best part about that being the, semi-dead zombie promo girls, which were delightful. Check out my Instagram for more details. Skills of shooting. Your night isn't complete unless you're ensconced with promo girls and a guy wearing an astronaut costume. How does that fit into fit into Dead Island? I mean, anyway, I digress.
Astronaut costume.
Yeah, but
No, actually, it was actually very clever what they did because that astronaut was promoting Links, and
that's right, yeah.
gaming people and BO go hand in hand. So Links was there as well to hand out some stuff. And they had that.
Wasn't the most flattering message, though. Are you a gamer and stink? Well, have I got the product for you? Are the girls that you do not meet complaining about the way you smell? If so, yeah, I only just finished that, by the way. Because I don't.
What?
Well, they inside that gift pack thing, they gave us the
yeah.
It was the
A couple of
antiperspirant
cans
and the deodorant.
some
Yeah.
headphones. Yeah.
Yeah. And on weeks where I'm coming to the end of the deodorant, I've seen the antiperspirant. I'm like, oh, it's the same scent, so I'll use that. But I just don't like antiperspirant. Makes you feel like you've just smudged, gravy skin underneath you.
Yeah.
Underneath your armpits. It's weird.
Well, apparently it's like aluminium particles. That's what makes it antiperspirant. I didn't know that.
So that stops you from sweating, is it?
Yeah.
Nothing
like
says don't
partly
stink than
aluminium.
spread particulate of metal underneath your armpits.
Yeah.
Mind you, we eat ground up beetles in Smarties and M&Ms and stuff. So,
But that's just to get the colour, though, isn't it?
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Skittles and Smarties to get the colours, they're ground up beetles.
Fuck off.
Seriously.
What? They don't know. They don't know. Piss off. They don't know how to make the fucking color green, so they're like, oh, we can
blue and
do
yellow.
all this stuff.
Whoa.
We can make all of these different types of food, but when it comes to coloring, we've got to crush up some fucking beetles. No,
Yeah.
piss off. It's food coloring.
Look up.
No, beetles.
It's got a name. God, what is it? I can't remember. It was on QI, and Stephen Fry wouldn't let that shit fly. Stephen Fry wouldn't let that shit fly. Yeah. Yeah. It's you just type in red food coloring into. It'll probably give you an E number, and
Yeah.
and also what it's called.
And then say beetles.
And then say beetles. Yeah. Yeah. For some reason, it's one color that apparently that doesn't synthesize well or something, and it's just cheaper to go with this ground up beetle. Apparently, it was first found when they were grinding up maize, and a few of the beetles got into the maize that they were grinding up, and it turned out this nice polenta, I think it was. They were making polenta.
The bread, their bread was coming out red or some shit.
Yeah, it's like, oh, pink polenta. There's an episode of QI which is really funny, actually, which you should watch, and it details that quite consistently. How the fuck did we get onto food coloring from gaming? My God, what were we talking about?
I blame that.
We've got BO, aluminium,
Yeah, cool.
beetles.
Dead Island,
Battlestar Galactica.
Xbox stand. Why are they showing this? Yeah, but that raises another question though, because the amount of and I suppose it's down to what demographic I fit into, but some of the other stands that just you could have told me that they were there, and I just wouldn't have acknowledged that they were even there. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Like the Logitech stand, some of the other stands that were pretty much just showing a 60-inch TV of a preview or a review or teasers for the game that I've already seen on YouTube. It's like, yeah, okay, you're getting that exposure out there for that game. No problems. Got no problem with that. But I just think they could have dedicated a bit more space to the major games.
Yeah.
As soon as we got into Ghosts, there was what, a bank of 24 machines? Would you say 24,
Yeah.
Chris? Four banks of 6?
And the stand was at least double the size, but it was just wasted space.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they put walls and bridges up and some cargo nets, and you're like, well, you could have really fit double the amount of computers in here.
And the battlefield, I mean, I don't know what it costs to,
Yeah, they had
to
a
rent out a tank for the
tank.
day or for the weekend. Go to
But that's the thing.
sherman.com.au. Excuse me, I'd just like to make an inquiry about hiring a tank. It's a nice visual, and I appreciate the visual, but I mean, if you're queuing up for the game, you don't see the tank anyway.
That's what you get when a gaming store runs a show disguised as an expo. I mean, like E3, who runs that? Not a gaming store.
No.
Whereas EB Expo, that's all the pre-orders there. You can only pre-order it through EB, which are the most expensive, blah, 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 blah. I guess that's what you get. If it was an expo where it was, you know, properly organized by the publishers, it'd have been set up much better. But because it's organized by EB, yeah.
The opinions expressed by the QuadFeed podcast are their own.
Sorry. Yes, that's purely by me. Sorry.
Yeah, well, yeah, and me. Yeah, this is only coming from inside my head.
That being said, sorry, just quickly, it sounds like the first year, I think it was run, which was last year, which we all went to. That was actually, I had like a lot of fun. That was really good. It sounds like last year I had double the amounts for when we played Black Ops 2. We had to wait a bit, but we went at the end of the evening and we had to wait 10 minutes. And there was at least 50 consoles in there we could have played on when we finally got in there. It was massive. So it sounds like this time they've cut it down a fair bit.
Everything seems to close early, unfortunately.
We were queuing up
things
for the
were out of
live
order. I know as soon as we walked in, Gab saw the big NBA S214 or whatever.
2K14.
And then we walk up and it's got caution tape around it. It was just out of order.
You know, a game that I was actually looking forward to playing. I'm like, oh, you know what? I'll wait. And then sure enough, came back and it was working. But these two kids were playing on it, like who couldn't even identify a basketball in a lineup, let alone play a game that involves a basketball. Taking full court shots. Oh man, the button's wrong. Oh, what the fuck? Oh man. You've dribbled out of bounds. You better watch that. Oh shit, done it again. Damn it. Trying to give helpful hints in the background. Come on, buddy. Why don't you step aside and I'll show you how to do this shit. I've been doing this for years. But yeah, just the use of real estate. I mean, they had the EB mini store was twice the size of the Call of Duty display.
Yeah, that was a lot
huge.
bigger
It was huge.
than it was last year. That was the biggest piece of real estate. They took up the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's the kind of thing that you want to, if we were to do it as a group activity, which I think we should do next year, would be to spend the day there.
Yeah.
You can't really expunge everything out of an experience like that in 3 hours.
No.
So I mean, to be able to queue up, I suppose treat it like an amusement park. It's like, can you get the most out of? Would you necessarily go to Disneyland for 3 hours? Probably not. And it's not cheap either. I mean, they're getting $40, $50 out of every person that walks in the door. A lot of kids of which are under 18 and probably can't.
So they have to bring a parent as well.
Bring the parent, and that doubles the cost.
Double
It's like going to the Easter show. I mean, what's the Easter show cost these days?
I boycotted the Easter show.
Yeah.
Only because it's just too expensive. And I feel sorry for like families who have like, you know, a
6
couple of
kids.
kids or whatever. Yeah, exactly. And they got to fork out like a fortune.
Like
So-
that actually makes
and
its
then-
way into the yearly budget. It's like going to the
Yeah.
Try getting out of the Easter
then-
show with a family of 5 people with 3 kids. or
Yeah, and
whatever.
only getting one show bag each.
Yeah.
Oh my god, the show bags are just ridiculous. Yeah.
Get out of there without spending $1,000, and I will gladly fund your next trip to the Easter show the year after. No, EB Expo. So I had a word to. I mean, I won't mention any names just yet, just in case it falls through. But yeah, spoke to a couple of people who might be potential guests moving forward. So make sure you stay tuned for that.
Very exciting.
We do have a guest supposedly for next week, which I also won't announce until closer to the time. But he's an out-and-out legend. Love watching his stuff. He's a good guy. But yeah, more to come on that.
Awesome.
Other topic. Half-Life 3. Benny, take it away. I'm out of here. Bye.
Well, Ron and I are massive fans. Chris, you're a big fan too.
Who's Ron?
Yeah, I don't know who Ron is.
Yeah. Triple feed.
Don't know who he is. Triple feed for
You'll
today.
notice the distinct lack of food, burping, and coughing. Hopefully that lends
blowing of noses.
blowing
Yep.
of noses, and hopefully that only adds to the experience and enjoyment of this podcast. I'm sorry, take it away, Chris. Ben.
But you probably would have noticed in the news that apparently Half-Life 3 was confirmed because they registered the trademark.
That's all I need
Blah
to
blah
know.
blah. Yep. So yeah, that's confirmed.
Okay. Releasing
but
next
then,
week. Good.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it comes out next week.
Cool.
No.
Awesome.
But then apparently, I don't know why they would do this, but one website's reported that it was all a hoax and that the trademark has been removed from the Trademarks and Design Registration Office of the European Union, that it's not there anymore. It was all a hoax just to build up publicity. I don't know why they'd want to build up publicity for Half-Life 3 because it's already, you know, the most anticipated game ever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm a believer. I know it is confirmed. It's definitely coming out, obviously. But apparently, yeah, it was a huge hoax, as reported by one website. And I read that on Reddit, so
100% true.
who knows?
Something true.
100% true.
Just
But
like
yeah, very interesting.
just like Wiki. Yeah. 100%
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
But either way, very interesting. It's going to come out, and it'll probably come out in line with the Steam machine, all that sort of stuff. So
It has to come out with the Steam machine. Otherwise, that machine, everyone's just going to go, well, I've already had an Xbox or a PlayStation for a year. What is there to get me to buy this?
Yeah. Especially if you've sort of needed to find the disposable income to get said console, you want to make sure that you can't
Well,
end up
that's the
doubling up
thing.
on stuff just for the sake of putting it in a lounge room and whacking it through a TV or something.
All of the PlayStation and the Xbox, they're upgradable now, aren't they? As well, or is that just the Steam machine that's upgradable?
The PS4 hard drive is upgradable.
So it's only the hard drive.
As far as I'm
Yeah.
aware.
it
Yeah.
will
The
definitely
Steam
not.
machine, you can upgrade the graphics cards,
Mhm.
which I thought was quite a ingenious idea.
Yeah.
So you can go out and buy the cheap one if you're a bit tight on funds.
Mhm.
And then, maybe later after you saved up a bit of money, you can go out and buy the optional graphics card to make it better.
Yeah.
Uh,
Or you could just buy a PC. But
oh, you just buy a
Well,
PC.
that's the thing.
I mean, that raises another question though. It's like essentially if this Steam machine is built for or built with a lounge room in mind. I mean, we touched on it a couple of shows ago. How much can you condense a box or a machine which does have this interchangeability of parts, and having to take into account just how big the biggest graphics card of that you could possibly fit in this thing, and then reverse engineer that to go, okay, well, the box needs to be of this dimensions, needs to take into account airflow, needs to a power supply I mean, I've got the stats here. I'll read the article. Valve today announced system specs for its Steam Machine prototype, which the company will ship to 300 users this year as part of a limited hardware testing program. GPU. Some units will ship with NVIDIA Titans, some with GTX 780s, some with GTX 760s, and some with GTX 660s.
Oh, okay.
When they say
Well,
some, I
so-
imagine that would be part of, if you go, what is that? 1, 2, 3.
So they must be
4,
all the different cards that you can buy for it. But I mean,
potentially.
a Titan, that's quite expensive.
Yeah,
I don't know
Titan
many
shit.
people
Yeah.
that are going to go out and just like straight up buy it and a Titan. I don't even think most people have a Titan in their PC.
Or 2 in my case. No, I don't have two Titans. What have I got, Ben? 680s? 2 680s?
Did you 680s or
I've got 2 680s.
no? Was it 26?
Pretty sure.
Or what did you get? 670s. I can't remember.
I don't know. It's beast. I've got. Oh no, they don't have the
forgotten
box
now.
anymore. Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
He's got so much money, he doesn't know
Oh, that's it.
the awesome hardware he has.
And you
That's
bought two of
And
them.
not one of them, but two of them. He's just like, oh, give me two of those.
Give me 2
And
of those.
that's what he had.
Only because he
Because
couldn't
the
fit
Titan-
9. He couldn't fit
Titan by
9.
itself costs more than the Steam Machine.
Yeah.
So if you wanted a Titan for the Steam Machine, you're basically paying double just for the Titan and then for the Steam Machine.
Interesting. CPU. Some boxes will ship with an i7-4770, which is what I do know I have. That's what
Yes.
I've got. Some with an i5-4570 and some with i3s.
Okay, so there are quite
So how
a lot
current?
of things that
How
can
current are those
change.
ones?
They're all
i7
current.
related.
Okay.
Well, i7 is the top of the range, but they're all the same chipset.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Okay.
they'd be the latest Haswell ones. But you can have a Haswell i5, i7, and I imagine i3 as well.
Cool.
Yeah.
16 gigs of DDR3 1600 with 3 gigs of DDR5 for the graphics card.
Graphic, yeah. That's
Which-
good.
That's quite a lot,
Yep.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Even the next gen consoles they're finding splits of 8, aren't they? Is it like six to, and depending on the console, obviously, it's 6 for the operating system and 2 for the graphics or whatever split.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
so-
the integrated board. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Hard drive, 1 terabyte with an 8 gig hybrid solid state.
8 gigs solid state. That's not that
I'm
big at all.
Guessing that's probably just for the
Operating
operating
system.
system.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
boot up, boot down, all that sort of stuff.
It's a pretty...
So it'll start up quite quick, but consoles always seem to start up pretty quick.
Yeah.
And I mean, Linux is a fairly skinny OS anyway, isn't it, by default?
Yep.
Doesn't
Very
need
light.
Doesn't need to...
It doesn't have all the unnecessary stuff that Windows has.
yeah.
The constant updates.
450 watt, 80 plus gold power supply, 35 gig. It's got 2 hard drives here. 35 gig hard drive space.
See, 450 watt is not a lot either. If you're putting a Titan in there,
Yeah.
you're going to be running it pretty close.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not powering that much else, like with a PC, you're doing other stuff as well. But if I was building a PC and I had a Titan, I wouldn't put a 450 in it. So, yeah.
Something close to 600, 700?
Oh, at least 750, just for the sake. Oh, yeah, I always future-proof
Overkill.
and stuff as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I always go overkill. Like I got 1,000 watt for 27950s, and that's still overkill. So, yeah.
Yeah. Nothing
Oh,
like
yeah,
a nice large carbon footprint to really put your stamp
Yeah.
put your stamp on this generation. Integral energy just sitting there. Your
Just they fucking love me.
your meter must be like a stopwatch.
Yeah. Between cryptocurrency mining and my gaming and just 24/7. Fucking love it.
Jesus. And they released the dimensions, so approximately 12 by 12.4 by 2.9 in height. 2.9?
Inches.
I'm assuming that's inches. What's that? A foot long by a foot wide, 3 inches high, which sounds like a square DVD player,
Yeah.
Yeah, or some
which makes
kind of
sense.
laptop.
Which makes sense. Yeah, it's like a Blu-ray player kind of size, I'd imagine.
Well, it can't be that thin if you're putting a big GPU
Well,
in it.
It doesn't
I would.
have a CD drive, doesn't it? That was the whole point. It's all streaming and downloading games. There is no CD drive.
Yeah, but Ben's right though in saying that even the motherboard plus the graphics card plus the power supply, unless it's an external power supply.
I
Like
hope not. But I'm guessing it's probably just going to look like a box. Yeah, just like a cube. I'm guessing that's probably what it's going to look like. I don't know.
So yeah, that's those dimensions there. I don't know. I guess I'd need to see. I mean, it's not like an Ouya or any sort of indie developed box that we don't know much on. The long and the short of it is, if you've had a PC and you like PC game but want to do it in a more flexible Steam-based format, then this could be pretty sweet.
Yeah.
That is interesting. Okay, let's have another topic, shall we? Bitcoins. Ben was surfing the champagne and furs and diamonds raining from the ceiling. Caviar.
I was living big, my
Don't tell
friend.
his girlfriend, but cigars and prostitutes were falling from the sky. And then this week happened. Take us through it.
Well, if you're anything like me and you enjoy a little bit of black tar heroin every now and then, you'll like to go to Silk Road, to buy all your drug and child porn needs and all that sort of stuff.
Paraphernalia.
But everyone knows, a lot of people know about Bitcoins, cryptocurrencies, digital currency, all that sort of stuff. Used on Silk Road because it's all anonymous and it's got a big value, all that sort of stuff. And then on Wednesday, our time, Wednesday night, Thursday morning, whatever, it was all shut down, which means that the value of Bitcoin, which was about $125 per coin, then plummeted because there was no confidence in it anymore. Sorry?
I said, no wonder Mario collects.
Yeah, pretty much.
That dude's ahead of his time, man. He's like, he managed to forecast this whole thing back in the early '80s, even prior to the internet. What a visionary!
Wish I had his foresight. I wish. It's from the bloody future. So yeah, the value of it dropped from 125 to then $75 per coin.
So is that classified as a crash in that?
That's a crash.
That sense? Yeah.
I mean, it's crashed more in the past where it's gone down to a cent for one coin. So, it was a bit of a crash.
Cool.
Depression styles there.
Yeah, massively. So, yeah, and then everyone's like, well, yeah, because Silk Road's closed, we have no use for these coins anymore. And this happened at, I think our time, middle of the night, and I woke up and then I saw that it had crashed and it was still rising.
Ben's got a phone in the background, like similar to the Bat phone, which is just connected to the Silk Road. Some sort of like the Bat phone just glows red. You need to pick up the phone and make some trades.
Yeah, it was pretty much. It was funny because 2 days before I was like, you know what? I don't know what's going on with this thing. I'm getting rid of all of my cryptocurrencies. I'm gonna convert them all into one, cash out, get my money into my bank account. Basically, did all that. And then 2 days later, this happens. So I'd sold out, sort of thing. And then 7 o'clock in the morning, Amy was here. My girlfriend, she was sleeping here. And I wake up, and I'm kind of just like running around to all my other computers here, all my miners and stuff like that, turning them back on.
That's miners as in computers, not like underage children you've got working for you. Let's just clear that up just in case.
My motherboards with video cards plugged into them.
Yeah.
Just trying to look through the hard drives, trying to find any remnants of money left over. So while it was crashing, or had already crashed and was still slowly rising, try and buy as many Bitcoins as possible. And then because I knew it would recover, I knew the market was just freaking out, and I knew it would recover, and so I bought some, not many, not enough, and then went back up to I think it's about 120 now, so it's pretty much stabilized. So I got that, and then I sold them and bought some other ones, which with these basically for the past 48 hours I've just been staring at a graph and talking to other people while we pump and dump a particular coin. I'm not going to say it. I don't know if I should or not, but basically making all these buy walls, pulling the rug from underneath it, just the price just plummeting, buying as many as we can, and then send out the word and just talk it up in the little chat box, and the price will double, and then we'll sell it all completely, just dump it all again, and it's just bouncing. It's just going up and down, up and down, up and down. But this is with the time, and I've been trying to buy as many Bitcoins from everywhere else, just trying to get it. Being a long weekend here in Sydney, none of the banks are open, so I can't get to a bank and deposit it into the accounts to get the money. No one's going to take PayPal because as soon as you get the coins, you can just reverse it. So everyone's really funny at the moment. So with a tiny amount of money that I have, I've just been bouncing it up and down, trying to make as much as possible, and it's been a lot of fun. So
That
for the
does
past
explain
48 hours.
That does explain your 3 a.m. visit to King's Cross and those back alleys trying to find a Bitcoin dealer.
Yeah, I've been going forums asking mods if I'm allowed to put up an ad to ask for it. Just trying to find someone that, like eBay, I've even gone to eBay trying to find someone that'll accept PayPal, because again the banks are closed, so I can make a transfer. They're not going to get it till like Wednesday next week, so there's no. I'm going to miss the boat by then. So yeah, we've just been bouncing it up and down and making. And so the trade orders are ridiculous. The amount of money that people have been making with this one particular coin, which is an offshoot of Bitcoin, is just ridiculous because Bitcoin's stabilized now, so there's no point buying it at the moment, short-term wise. Long-term, yeah, I'd say so. But short-term, if you can manipulate it and pump and dump, yeah, it's like tens of thousands of dollars people have been making over like the past, few hours, basically.
Is that an official term, pump and dump?
Pretty much.
'Cause that used to be my mentality with previous girlfriends.
Yeah. Hit it and quit it.
Hit and quit it.
All that sort of stuff.
Yeah, eats roots and leaves, be a koala.
Mm.
Lol.
So yeah, but it's stabilized because the guy who made Silk Road, Dread Pirate Roberts, he was all caught and he's being under arrest and all that sort of stuff. But there's already other markets opened up which are taking Bitcoins and other currencies, and they're even worse than the one Silk Road that closed down, because not only are they selling drugs, they're also selling guns now. So they've just made it harder for themselves.
What?
So,
really?
Yeah. Yep.
Damn.
I can't remember the name. Oh, I'm not going to say any names or anything of the websites because I don't want to spread any of that. A simple Google search will find it. But yeah, you can buy anything. Really,
Heisenberg.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Is there a Bitcoin Heisenberg that we just haven't found yet?
It's funny because few of the people the big kingpins, which are known by name, and people just who know them, try and get like the inside scoop on what's going on, when they're going to sell, what they're going to buy, and they just follow them around.
It's not.
And you just see a huge.
It's not Tom Petrovsky from Combank, is it?
No, it's not him.
Comsec.
They're just stupid internet handle names like my one and stuff. So yeah, but it's been fascinating. A lot of money.
Is there a way to forecast that sort
money.
of stuff, like you would be able to see in like actual stock exchange markets?
In relation to other markets,
the time frame between like things being at their highest, and I suppose it's the same could be said for most things in the stock market, but it either seems that any sort of story that I hear about this whole Bitcoin phenomenon is at its absolute highest and at its absolute lowest, and the time frame between that happening, because it's all so virtual and up in the air, and it doesn't sound like any one particular thing. Like, it's not like the fall of a government can like destabilize a dollar or a particular currency, or if any sort of stocks taking hands or corporate takeovers or anything like that. It doesn't sound like there's the same triggers or the same influences over this particular currency
Nah,
that you could actually do
that
some
doesn't
research
matter.
in. Yeah. It's like,
No, I mean with the shutdown of the US government, I don't know if that's still going. I'm guessing it is. I think that affected the dollar a little bit. It did absolutely nothing to cryptos. But then as soon as Silk Road was closed, bang, just died in the ass. And then the buy orders of when it's hit $75 was just ridiculous. And then it just gained confidence again and just skyrocketed. And then same with these other currencies that were just being like manipulating and stuff.
right.
Yeah, a lot of money.
It's interesting because I remember you telling me about it months and months and months ago. And then I went and got a coffee, I think the week after you, or the weekend after you told me about it. And I heard what was a very watered down description from a guy in a cafe trying to explain it to two other people. I'm like,
Yeah, back when they just heard it off like
Yeah.
secondhand information of someone else where they didn't really know how to explain it. But yeah, it's just to see it grow. It's just ridiculous. And I knew about it, I wouldn't say when it very first started, but very shortly after. And it was so easy to get them. Who would have known that they were going to reach? Well, at one stage, I think the highest it reached was $350 for one. And at one stage, you could get them for $0.01 each. So, just imagine buying $1,000 worth at $0.01.
Yeah.
And then selling at $350 each. So, yeah.
So if you are one of said people, be sure to get in contact with the QuadFeed podcast and let us know what Lamborghini you bought and and what the going rate is on the best black tar heroin in town. Be sure to let us know, and we'll be able to put some people in touch.
And it's funny just because, when you talk about it with other people, it's just
Let's glaze over.
how
it.
easy.
Oh,
That as well. But other big, I get that a lot. But when you talk about with like other cryptocurrency people, just when you say something or try and state something, just, there's 20 other people to try and put you down. So it's just funny when like I've just said what I've said, there'll be like 20 people that disagree with me completely. And it's almost like no one really knows what's going on. People pretend to know what's going on. Some people do know what's going on. But everything is passed off as facts if someone knows the slightest little bit of thing. And it's just, yeah. So if anyone knows about it, they'll probably just comment on it and saying that what I'm saying is complete shit. So, yeah.
Or are you like the Wolf of Wall Street, but the Wolf of Bitcoins?
No, I wish if I could have got enough.
So let's scale this down. So the Wolf of Wall Street, you can maybe be the what's a dog breed beginning with B? You could be the or something.
Bulldog.
You can be the bulldog of Bitcoins, or the.
I wish.
Well,
If
I know it doesn't start with B, but like you could be the Pomeranian of Bitcoins, maybe.
If the Wolf of Wall Street had his own personal driver, I'm the personal driver's assistant or butler. That's pretty much me.
Whipping boy.
I'm really a nobody. If it's just that what I've made
You're the
was
Starbucks
good.
of Bitcoins.
Yeah, yeah. It was good what I made, but if I didn't fucking sell everything, because I was like, I'm a bit bored, because it was just a hobby to me. I was like, oh, I'm a bit bored of this. I'll get rid of everything now, cash it in, whatever, save it away. And then
I heard that's
if
what
I
Lehman
had just-
Brothers did.
Yeah. If I just kept everything for like 3 more days, quite literally, and mind you, I'd been doing this for months, mining it with my miner and all that sort of stuff. Not Bitcoins, other coins. I would have been quite well off, but not now.
You'd been able to buy your.
And that doesn't
house.
bother me. Pretty much, no.
Cool. Okay.
But you'll be hearing more about it later. It'll be accepted more for everything soon enough. Hopefully. Please do. That way I can make more money.
As this news develops, we'll be on top of it. When I say we, I mean Ben solely.
Talk it up.
So what we might do is we might throw the halftime show. We've got some footage for you from the epic thing that you'd all been waiting for. The creator of said game was resurrected, and no, he wasn't. He was exhumed and flown here live by satellite. No, we got Ben versus Ron in the epic Mario Kart 64, and with some interesting results. And we'll throw to that now. Hope you enjoy it, And we'll see you at the end of halftime.
I will slay anybody. And by the way, here's a challenge to anybody who's watching.
Boom. Game
I
attack given
will
after the show.
I will beat anybody at Mario Kart. I don't care. If you're the guy who invented Mario Kart, I will beat you at Mario Kart.
Oh. Luck shithead.
Thanks.
Which is awesome.
What's the difference?
You have to fight against each other. You have 3 balloons. Oh yeah, there's that. You should probably learn that.
Son of a beastie.
Holy shit, you won! What the fuck? Hey.
I'm the best.
No. This is,
I retire undefeated.
no, this is
the game
test.
makes stuff up
This
now.
one doesn't count. This is your test one, okay? This is your test. We didn't even get through one, but you got, yeah, okay. Congratulations.
Oh, wait.
It's not over. You haven't even played the hard ones yet. This is the very first one. It's not over.
This is on film.
Yeah, it's on film.
You
won.
will, you will not beat me in the game.
What?
And I seem to remember beating you.
No, you
From now on, I'll just humour you,
No, this
and we'll continue playing. But I won't be a dick.
It's not meant to, I wasn't being a dick. Okay, I was being a dick. You dick. That's what I get for bragging, right? I'm a cocker.
Hey, Ron, remember the time I beat you in Mario Kart? And you said,
Anybody can do that.
but you said I'd never beat you.
What? No, I mean, the whole, all together. I'm positive you were going to beat me at least once.
Oh, I wasn't.
What?
That's on my Gran Turismo prowess right there.
Really? Gran Turismo can teach you how to play Mario Kart with it.
Teach me to race.
Teach you how to race. You know, I know what made you win. It's my coaching. It's my fucking coaching. It's because I'm all like...
This is accelerate, this is brake. Now go.
Yeah, no, and then I was all like fucking... I was all like ridiculous. I'm getting raped here. By a noob! This is so embarrassing! Oh shit.
No! I hit the fucking thing!
No!
No way! No way!
Right then, we're just going to get the red shells.
You were pretty scared there. That was almost 2 in a row. Credit where credit's due.
Yeah, it was just if I didn't get those fucking boosts. And those boosts never help anybody. But does this cup still count? This is the one with the cheat.
Everything counts, except for cheats.
But that's not a cheat, that's actually part of the course. Right now. I made it.
Ow! We missed it completely. I don't want to play anymore. I hate this game. Oh, come on! Yeah, that's it. Miss all the fucking...
The unfortunate thing that happened, you have to finish it.
Yeah. Go in between the fucking things. I'm on borrowed time. I won the first one.
You did.
The very first round. That's all I care about.
This is what I mean, the cups at the end.
Well, I'm warmed up now, so now I can...
Yeah. And you...
I'll go hard. Damn it!
Son of a bitch! Alright. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with 8 as well.
Can I play now?
No!
You're losing anyway, so...
Yeah, this round. You are playing! We're a team!
I really didn't want to hear this song.
Women drivers. Am
Hey,
I
at
right?
least I missed
Wow.
the bananas.
Burn!
And if you turn the controller like the steering wheel, do you get all like traction?
You actually do. Oh wait, no, this isn't the way. So this is great. Gav and Chris are over there, enjoying the fireworks. At EB Expo, was it?
Yep.
Yep. And we're over here, sucking at Mario Kart 64. Well, not me.
Just me, except for that one game.
That one. You only won once. You'll never let me live that down.
Nope.
So after the challenge was put forth by Ben, see if he could beat me at Mario Kart 64, And still reigning champion. Woo! Me, Ron.
But you said if you beat me in a race, I did beat you in the very first race that we did.
You beat me once.
I haven't needed to beat you once.
No. That was the test one. That was like me going, oh, this is accelerate, this is brake. I won in the end. How many did I win after that? All of them?
All of them?
Yeah. All
Granted, all of them, but I still won the first one.
Kudos, well done, but that's one race, and I won the rest of the time, so...
I'll have to look back at the footage and see what you said in the
Yeah,
podcast.
we'll see. So anybody else who wants a challenge, you're welcome to.
Hey everyone, welcome back. What did you think of that? Benny, mate,
Yeah,
coming through in the clutch and game race 1, no less. What the hell?
exactly.
I
know.
Did you, I mean, I know you probably would have been, you obviously were there for it, but on a scale of 1 to 10, how many excuses did Ron give for lack of said? I mean, it's performance anxiety, really. That's what it boils down to.
Yeah.
It's performance anxiety. So
Yes and no. He was very confident. In his defence, he was very graceful and didn't have really any excuses. You know, it was
Batteries
skill
in the
one on the
controller.
day.
yeah,
Yeah,
batteries in the controller.
skill one.
The fact that he wasn't sitting right in front of the screen, or
He had a sore throat.
he didn't have his hot
You
pockets.
know, all this sort of stuff.
Didn't have a bowl of fast food in front of him, or a pizza or something.
KFC.
KFC. And then he
But yeah,
proceeded,
no,
as we saw, every game after that. But I'm happy to take it as first game victory.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, there was no limit, so technically it was for one race.
Like I said, I only had to win one, and I won the first one. I could have left then and there,
I think you should have.
undefeated. I know. I was very tempted, to be honest.
Walked out. Just
That would have been hilarious.
like it's
I
some
was
sort of
very
comedy
tempted.
festival.
Undefeated.
Just like
Just
instead of dropping the
control,
mic.
just boom.
I'm out.
Just walked out. But no, I wanted to, but it actually took us quite a while to set it up because the Nintendo wasn't working at first. It's funny because the very, very first race we were racing, which shut off halfway through, I think I was in the lead of that one as well, and we're on the last lap. And then it just suddenly just turned off and black screen.
Oh,
And
no.
then, yeah, and I was like, oh shit, and then I was like, here we go, it's not going to work. He's rigged it, and then it worked, and then I smashed him. I didn't smash him. I think it was half a car length or something like that, not even.
That's still a lot in Mario Kart.
Yeah,
It
backed
doesn't matter
up.
if you win by an inch or a mile,
Yeah, it's a photo finish. Grand Nationals and Melbourne Cups have been decided by less, so
Yeah.
I think.
But I was
that's-
expecting him to, bag the shit out of me for losing all the other races. But he was very graceful. I was very happy that I won.
Mhm.
And,
So when are
I
you
think I deserve some sort of prize.
going to cash in that congratulatory hand job from him?
I'll save it for the end of season show, maybe.
That's it, done. Christmas
Yeah.
special, cool. I thought I might throw to a viewer question because we had a couple of viewer questions from. I can call them loyal viewers now. 'Cause now they're plural,
Yeah.
and they have watched more than one or two shows. Mr. Blood Tears Glory is back.
Yeah.
The Camp Master. Go check him out. He said, if you had the chance to develop a game, what kind of game would you make it, and what would you call it? There is a catch. All four of you would have to be in the game as characters.
Oh, okay. I was going to say the next $1 billion game. I'd like to make that one.
Really? In what capacity?
No details, just the one that's going to make $1 billion. That's it.
Yeah. I suppose that's the end game, but I mean, let's reverse engineer this a bit and see if we can get to some specifics.
No. That's a good business plan. Stick with that.
That's it. The
$1 billion, please.
GTA 5 model.
That's what the other workers are for. They come up with the ideas. I'm just the one that gets all the glory.
Ben's Miners.
Ben's mine.
Work for me, damn it.
Work for me, bitch.
Yep.
I guess for me, I think given the success and the hype and I suppose popularity that we've seen come out of like Titanfall. I don't think you can go wrong with a good quality FPS. I would sort of be a character. What kind of character would I be? I would be, in the campaign mode, I suppose, I would be the young, attractive, abs so good that you could, like, grate cheese on them, kind of,
In fact, that's what your player does when you select him.
I play that in real life, to be honest. Yeah. Don't let this fool you, mate. Come on. You saw me on Friday night, all right? Come on. I would be in the campaign, kicking a suitable amount of rectum, insert aliens, insert other soldiers, insert kitchen utensils, I don't know, whoever we're battling at the time. And then in a cutscene, bragging about said awesomeness, and then get sniped probably from 50 meters away. Dramatic cutscene, and then it
Your
throws...
character would be a character that dies in the game.
Picture Ryan Reynolds. Picture Ryan Reynolds in Wolverine Origins or whatever that, you know.
All this build up and then
All this build up,
climax.
and in the end you end up shaving me and stitching my mouth together and giving me 2 curtain rods for weapons. And then I'll take on Hugh Jackman, get cut in half, spoiler alert, sorry, should have done that, and then die. So, yeah. That lovable character.
I could see you as Deadpool. I could see you pulling a Deadpool off.
I'm such a Deadpool. Such a Deadpool. Of course, it means shaving off this luscious head of hair. You know, I don't know how much potential time and money I could save during the day through not having to style my hair. That's the trade-off.
Well,
I would be...
could you just wear the mask?
I could do. Yeah, that's a bit bondage-like, though. Doesn't that strike you as a bit of... I mean, it was funny watching watching Pulp Fiction last night on the couch. It's like, oh, out comes the gimp. You paint that costume red and you're Deadpool. A couple of swords in the hand and you're Deadpool. Like,
It's exactly the same, yeah. Just put a few guns and ammo clips on there.
what do you reckon, viewers?
Paint it red. Done.
Yeah, just give me a couple of swords, maybe. With a dry cool wit like that. Well, I guess I decided the game type for all of us, but I don't necessarily want to do that. Chris, what can you see yourself as? Some sort of Borderlands character? Or?
Myself or a game with you guys?
Well, I mean, yeah. Let's stick to FPS because at least that we could. I mean, unfortunately, I've just handcuffed you to that.
For me, I think Ron would make a fantastic villain for a game.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have to worry about him showing up though.
That is true. Zing.
Just has to show up
Yeah.
at the end.
He's gonna get angry at me later for that one.
Final battle is just
Nothing. You just walk.
Just
you just go
credits.
get Princess Peach and that's it.
that's it. Yeah.
You got a 10% chance that he'd show up. That's the hardest part of the boss battle. You can play it a million times, he won't be there, so you can never finish the game.
Or
No,
just get a blue screen of death. That would be the ultimate test of feat of endurance.
File not found.
Yeah. Ron not found.
For me, I've always enjoyed, like you said, a first-person shooter. But I like the ones with a bit of the stories and the pop culture references. So something like along the lines of the Fallout or Borderlands. They're 4 players anyway, so...
Describe your character to me. Paint me a word picture. Height, build, persona.
I'll be that annoying character that gets killed off or doesn't die, just to make it really annoying. I make it all the way to the end.
Right. So basically
Where
the opposite of your Call of Duty character.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where you're diving on flags no
Yeah.
matter how many hand grenades there are in the area. Trying to catch a C4 midair and try and throw it back.
Yeah. I'd be the McBain. That's what it'd be. Everyone else dies around him. He
Yeah.
somehow lives all the time.
Castro McBain. And you reckon you'd make it to the end or not? You weren't decided.
I would, just to annoy everybody. That, this character that brings absolutely nothing.
I can't believe
would.
this guy
Kind of like
fucking
the
made it.
Game of Thrones. It'd be a Game of Thrones kind of thing where everybody's favorite players get killed off. And I'd be like, Joffrey, just like, why is he still in it? Seriously, kill him off. There's all these chances, no one takes it. Just walking around.
Taking names.
All the plus bonuses, walk on traps, nothing.
Beniamino?
I think, I'm a massive DayZ player, and I was kind of thinking something along the lines of that, but also maybe like a bit of Battlefield Bad Company, where all the squad are actually like really funny, like, you're pissing yourself laughing while playing that game, because I thought that game was hilarious.
Yeah.
They had a good dynamic, and mix that with a bit of, post-apocalyptic zombies, something like that.
It's got all the elements
Maybe.
there for success. You've got an FPS, you've got some sort of survival, horror.
Zombies are big at the moment.
Zombies are big, yeah. FPS, zombie, survival,
Comedy.
comedy, FIFA 14 kind of variant. That'd be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, they could put a soccer ball in there as well, whatever.
Your
Be a mini
character,
game.
your character would be called
Minigame.
Beniamino.
He's got to kick a zombie's head through a window.
Excellent Italian soccer player / survivalist. Bear Grylls with a machine gun. Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
can
don't
live with
think
that.
you can't go wrong with FPS.
No.
There you go, Blood Tears Glory. What do you think about that? I mean, he's a Call of Duty enthusiast, so I'm sure he would appreciate our answers in that sense. Happy to know that we went kind of
I'll
for
answer
FPS.
Ron, seeing as we all know he loves car racing games.
Oh,
I
right.
think Ron would love to make a car racing game.
So his would be Gran Turismo.
Yeah.
Gran Turismo 7, where he would have free reign over every single car in the game, and everyone else would have to choose like a Hyundai accent or something. Limited to 120 horsepower or something, or Hyundai for our American viewers.
Hyundai.
Hyundai. Yeah, that's... Yeah, sorry, you were going to detail what would Ron think?
Oh, I just thought he would love to be known as a person that would be making a car game, especially one that, we know how he doesn't like the races, so it'd just be a game kind of like the Drive Club, where there was no point. You just kind of drive around an area.
Hang around the parking lot talking about how cool your car is.
Yeah.
Macca's
Drive to
drive-through.
McDonald's.
Drive-through. My car's got 400 horsepower. I don't want to show you, but it's got 400 horsepower. Check it out. Here's a printout of my dyno. Cheers. Not photoshopped in any way at all. Yeah. I've got another question, but I guess it relates more to me. But I guess it could expand to you guys, just in case it was part of your future. My boy Rishi. Hello, Rishi. How you doing, mate? Oh, he hasn't answered me. He asks, what's his, let me just open up his Twitter. Maybe you guys can throw some Twitter followers at him. Oh, I've just gone and opened the screen region. Good job, idiot. Such professionalism.
Ruined it.
Ruined it. So I want to throw some followers these guys' ways. They're all good blokes. Talk amongst yourselves. Rishi.
So Ben, how about that local sports team?
Shut up. I found it. At the _rocker_18. Rishi, there you go, buddy. there's your shout out. He asked, what was our, collectively, inspiration for starting YouTube? And why am I still doing it? Good question. I guess I've never really vocalized it to anyone other than you guys. Why did I start it? I guess my inspiration for it was probably a couple of years ago when I was living with my girlfriend's parents and started checking out more and more live streams, started checking out more and more content to do with Call of Duty and the games that I was playing at the time. Batman Arkham City, I think, was back then. And because I can draw a lot of parallels to me starting in web design, which is my profession, just by viewing a whole lot of websites that I think, from my point of view, I could be designing them a whole lot better than what they're currently being designed as. Goes back to like probably 1999 when I had a job where I was basically servicing people online, and in that downtime you'd get to go servicing. You're laughing at servicing, Chris? Is that some sort of reference to servicing? Bastard. Customer service. So I was seeing a lot of websites and I was just like horrified. It was probably in the early days of the internet. Internet's probably only about 8-10 years old at that stage. Lots of awful Flash-based websites. No sort of standards compliance or anything like that. And I thought, you know what, I'm not going to be doing customer service for forever, and I wouldn't want to. And I thought, you know what, I can lend a bit of. I'm a creative guy. I can lend a bit of lend a bit of knowledge to that. So I got trained up in web design, and it was kind of like at the time when I was looking at more YouTube channels, and I saw a whole heap of YouTube channels that, whilst their content was good, they could probably benefit from a bit of polish in the presentation kind of department as well. So I thought, you know, why not combine the two? I could combine the web design aspect and graphics and motion and all that sort of stuff in with another hobby or passion of gameplay. So I think it was like this time, or it wasn't this time last year, it was last year, I got my Elgato and just made all the moves to get a channel working, because I was watching a lot of JX23, a guy who, you know, I think does things really well, and his presentation is always something that is something to be applauded as well, because his presentation is bang up to scratch and at a standard that a lot of other places or a lot of other YouTube channels don't take the time to do, and he needs more viewers. Well, not needs more viewers, he deserves more viewers. JX23. So yeah, I just thought I'd combine the two, really. It was more, you know, having fun in the stream. I'm thinking, you know, how much fun would it be if I was to host one of these streams or have a channel that people like my content, or, and then I suppose it goes even back further than that as well, when some random dude at my year 12 presentation evening, I've told you guys this story, I'm sure, but I had to read out the names and the awards that basically my entire grade got in that school year. Looking back on it, I don't even know how I would have even got selected, or if I would have put my hand up for it, given that I probably wasn't all as outgoing as what I am right now. But I had to read out probably a couple of 100 or 200 names or so just for these awards and graduations that my year had got at the time. And then some random guy came up to me in the parking lot and said, "Are you insert name here?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Well, I used to work at the ABC, or you'd had some affiliation with the ABC. I think you've got a really good radio voice. Have you got any views to going into radio?" And I said, "Well, no, cheers, bye." And kind of left it at that, and then went into computing and design and website content and management, and didn't really give it a thought until, you know, you lend a bit more thought to doing a YouTube channel, which obviously helps if you.
So you could have been on ABC Radio, or
Well,
did
yeah.
it say you had a voice for radio or a face for radio?
Well, it wasn't quite as. Thanks for bringing it up, Chris. He did target my voice more specifically because that was all he had to go up. He was probably in the mezzanine of the now defunct Hill Centre, which is I only just found out the other day it's been bulldozed to make way for the light rail or the Northwest Rail link going out that way, which Sophie only told me about the other day. But yeah, it was something I always go back to when I kind of go, should I even be doing this kind of thing? So and conversely, I mean, there are lots of channels out there where they do awesome content, but they sound terrible. So I'm trying to find that middle ground of sounding good content, and I guess it's probably the genesis of this podcast as well. But I mean, you guys, I mean, you whilst you do have Gmail accounts and thus access to a YouTube channel, is it something that you would necessarily get into moving forward, you reckon, or you just happy to be
Well, it's
a
a bit
gamer?
like what you said for me. I think if I went off on my own, it would be quite a poorly put together or looking site, just because I don't really have that knowledge or expertise to do it myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd be one of those people where you're like, oh, I kind of like the idea, but you know,
The execution isn't there or something.
yeah.
Yeah, and I guess I mean the larger YouTubers who are out there that don't possess that kind of, I suppose, for lack of a better word, graphical training or graphical exposure. I mean they make do largely because they get by on their content. So I mean it's not the be all and end all if you don't have that sort of graphical expertise or exposure or knowledge of that sort of thing. But I guess it helps, and in a medium where the first impression is largely everything. I just wanted to make sure that my graphics were kind of on par with the nicer end of the stuff that's out there. I mean that's why we pre-record this show, is so that I can then dress it up a bit more like some of the more reputable podcasts that you see on the internet, just to take care of that, cover that base of presentation. Right, good. Microphone, boom arms, good quality camera, all that sort of stuff. So it all kind of plays into itself. But I wouldn't say no to more subscribers. Come on, folks. Come on. I want to hit 100 before Christmas. Get me to 100. Benny?
That's doable.
Yeah, that's doable. Easy.
You're fresh faced.
Aim higher.
You're fresh.
Aim higher.
1,000 by Christmas. Do it.
Yeah. That's a,
1 million. 1 million by Christmas.
no, I would love to do a channel. I'm always paranoid that my voice sounds really shit. I mean, I know mine's not as luxurious
Or
as
silky.
Gavin's.
I missed out Silky as well.
Oh, Silky. Sorry.
Silky. Or polyester.
A little bit of cotton. Oh, yeah. No, a few times I was playing with the idea of doing one for DayZ.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, YouTube's saturated with DayZ channels. Who would want to watch me play around? And I'm not a very good player either. So, but plus I've never edited a video or anything like that, so I wouldn't know how to do anything like that. Sure, I could pick it up though. But graphics, I don't know how to do. So,
I think
maybe later on down the track.
as long as you download, I mean, obviously I use a lot of the industry standard stuff in my day-to-day workings and extend that onto YouTube and stuff. But yeah, I'd never done any sort of video editing before, and for the most part, if you know how to, work out simple transitions. I mean, YouTube's just awash with simple transitions and good quality content, and making sure that Star Wars.
Star Wars, yeah.
Unless you're going to base a channel completely around montage making, where lens flares and time shifts and black and whites and all that sort of stuff, which does take a lot of time, a lot of effort, and a lot of people get the yield the results from that. I mean, for the most part, you can just base it on good quality edited, cross dissolved and additive dissolved sequences of gameplay.
Yeah.
But
I'll maybe do something in the Christmas break.
yeah, it'd be interesting. Want you to get to the level of success that I'm clearly exhibiting right now.
That's the dream.
But the other side of it is as well, and it comes down to a lot of these other videos that you see where it's like, why do you get into YouTube? And to go into YouTube right now with things being as saturated as what they are in the FPS gameplay, you're just going up against some pretty huge titans of YouTube to even try and break into that sort of stuff. You can't go into it with views of being partnered or any sort of monetization or anything like that. It purely has to come from a passion side of things, and you just wanting to get whatever it is you do out into a larger sort of atmosphere or medium, just to put across that.
It does give us an outlet to talk about the things we normally would talk about.
Yeah.
Without people being around who always aren't as interested as we are.
Yeah.
Which kind of makes us look a bit antisocial, being out at dinner and talking about things that only
it's focused, isn't it?
The rest of the table, the females at the table don't appreciate all of the gaming and computer talk.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies come to dinner. We're breaking that mold.
We're actually outnumbered, aren't we?
I think we are actually. Yeah.
That's how we roll.
That's how
We're
much
just rolling in it.
That's
in
how
our
much
friend
of an
group.
appeal we have.
Yeah.
As a conglomerate of gaming / PC / worldly knowledge on TVs, movies, and gaming. That's the kind of demographic that we attract. Yeah. So yeah, it wasn't done with any sort of monetary assumptions. Obviously, if it does get to that point, it means that I could probably make a slow but steady transition away from web design and get more into video production and that sort of thing. But it definitely wasn't done with any sort of monetization in mind. It's purely just to get the stuff that I love doing out there to like-minded people, such as yourself. Should we talk Breaking Bad?
We should talk about how I perfectly predicted the ending. We
should predict that.
Eerily accurate.
Yeah. It wasn't because I obviously rewatched the podcast as we sort of go throughout the week, kind of thing. It's not a huge back catalogue, as you are well aware. You can polish it off in half a day. And I guess it probably came at such a good time, off the shoulders of a poorly executed Dexter finale, that I think it just ramped things up so much more that we were expecting a good finale from Breaking Bad. But like a good movie should do, everything should be tied up in a nice, neat little bow, and I think it pretty much did that.
Yep. Tied up everything pretty well. Didn't disappoint me. Didn't let me down. And it was pretty much spot on.
I think if I had one complaint, it's a very minor one. It'd be good to see, the fruits of his labours, like 10 years in the future.
That's true.
Seeing how Walt Jr. or Flynn or Dr. Octopus or whatever he's called, how
he spends his money. Or whatever. He just buys a huge cereal factory just so he can eat cereal all the damn time.
Just buys a Denny's so he can eat breakfast all day.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to our new CEO, Walter White. In he comes. We've noticed a severe lack of profits this year, Mr. White. Why is that? And he's just like, I don't know. Oh. You've eaten half of our product. Yeah.
Making new cereal, Blue Methos.
Yeah. Methios. Yeah. I don't know. Just to see how I suppose if there was any sort of progression from Walt Jr.'s point of view, whether or not he would have forgiven him to a certain extent, because you kind of got that vibe from Skylar when she was sort of saying goodbye to him for what she knew was probably the last time, that there was that level of understanding that it's like, okay, if you tell me one more time that you did this for the family, it's
He's like, no.
Well, yeah, she still kind of wanted the money, like,
yeah,
as well.
Well, that's what, yeah, he's like, no, I didn't. I did it for myself. I loved it, basically.
and if the side effect of
Yeah.
that is squillions of dollars for you to have, then awesome.
Yeah.
What did happen to the remaining money? I assume he...
The money.
Yeah.
He gave it to Walt Jr.
No, that was the money that was...
Or
on
do you mean the stolen money?
Yeah.
Oh, that's... Who knows where that is? Only the Nazis
police
knew where that
probably got
was.
it when they went into the Nazi compound.
That's it.
Yeah.
We're going to Albuquerque. We are going to find that money. And then that'll be true YouTube money.
Yeah.
Just sitting on 70
Now
million.
that is a marketing strategy
Yeah.
for Albuquerque. If they want tourist attraction,
Yeah.
we've $70 million somewhere.
Yeah.
And if you follow a TV show, you can find it.
I reckon the amount of people that would have actually gone to those map coordinates and like taken selfies and say, hey, click.
The map coordinates was the filming studio, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Oh, was it?
I think if you actually put it in, it's not the desert, it's where they film it.
where they filmed it. Oh.
I
Damn.
think so. Just ignore me for 2 seconds while I Google that. Won't be long now.
Or even just Skylar, just sort of 10 years down the track. It's like, yeah, on the anniversary of Walt's death, whether or not she...
I reckon it would have been good if it closed with his daughter winning a science prize or something.
in chemistry.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to happen again.
And then her putting two and two together and it's like, you know what?
Yeah.
If I add some red food coloring,
Oh my god.
I
Fuck
can
that.
I can get some red meth going on.
Red man.
Heisen
And
bitch.
just quickly,
Heisen bitch.
and the coordinates do take it to where it was filmed in Albuquerque. The filming studios there.
Cool.
That's pretty cool.
Easter egg. That's cool.
I checked online. Yeah.
Online. I'm trying to figure out if there's anything else.
Well, that probably saves them from being sued from someone who went out into the desert.
And found two dead bodies. Found Hank and whatever his name
Gomez.
was. Gomez, yeah.
I wish he didn't die. I was so upset when he died. I love
Gomez.
Gomez.
Yeah. You know what though? I mean, it would be completely unbelievable to think that a guy would be able to survive such a thing. But considering Hank got shot multiple times, I think the first time that drive-by happened and came out of it as fucked up or whatever, like you never really saw, apart from the body being dragged, you never really saw, you know, that cliched sort of eyes wide open, bullet wound to the head kind of shot.
Yep.
I don't know whether or not that was done intentionally.
Same with Walt, technically, I guess, through the power of TV. He may still be able to be alive.
Not TV dead, because they haven't shown him.
Yeah.
He was just laying on the ground.
Whether or not they put him in a fairly shallow grave, because the grave was fairly shallow for the... Oh, no, it wasn't actually. It was probably fairly deep, so it had to have the barrels in it. Yeah. Or even just Hank's wife's reaction to going to that burial site and seeing how she reacted. Because you only really saw Skylar's reaction.
Just when she was told what the coordinates were for, so that was about it.
And whether or not
That'd be interesting.
Hank's wife would organise a if Walt lived, for example, whether or not she could organise an internal jail hit to kill Walt. That'd have been cool. Turn the tables on him that way.
Probably would.
I don't know.
Some of her shoplifting buddies. Got those connections.
Yeah, Winona Ryder. So Vince, if that sounds like a good story arc, yes, it's out in the public domain, but get in touch,
Yep.
and we'll
We'll develop it further for you.
Yeah. What can we call it? Breaking
Even.
even. Good job. Yeah. Breaking Dad. Orchestrated by Walt Jr. Yeah.
His plan is to eat him poor for
Yeah.
breakfast.
More movie and TV stuff. Have you watched The Blacklist? Have you seen that yet?
No, I do want to see it. I do like that actor. I remember when he was in The Office for a few episodes, the US Office.
Right.
And even just in that, he was terrifying. In that, it was just so intimidating. But I still haven't watched it.
Who's
The
Spader?
Blacklist yet.
Spader.
Yeah. I really want to see it. I just haven't had a chance to watch it yet.
It's good from I suppose, a pilot point of view. It is streets ahead of what we've since found out about the Agents of
Shield.
Agents of Shite. It's I suppose certain parallels could be drawn to Homeland, I suppose, from a Bureau/CIA kind of spin.
Did you guys watch the last season of Homeland?
Yes.
No.
I got trolled on this
You
current
got
season.
trolled.
Yeah, because I downloaded episode 1, because episode 1 season 3 aired in the States a few weeks ago. So
okay.
So I watched that, and then it reoccurred. I imagine to signify the start of the season. And I'm like, hang on, how does that work? Did I watch a preview of the upcoming season, but just in movie or episode length? But yeah, I rewatched the first episode of season 3, and I'm like, oh god, I've already seen this. Close it down. Yeah, but no, it's
all through iTunes, I'm assuming.
yeah, yep, season pass. Season pass.
Ah.
But no,
Money bags.
Blacklist is good. It's got all the ingredients that a typical show needs to, of that nature. It's got a bit of backstabbing, token
Always
good-looking
good.
female lead, which I always appreciate.
Even better. Who's the female lead?
I don't know,
But she's good looking.
but she's beautiful. And it sounds like in a very sort of Arrow kind of way. It's if they've got to go through a list of sorts to eliminate people, then at least you've got a story arc for each and every episode, with an underlying arc of why James Spader wanted to be partnered up with her in the first place, because it's her day one of her job, on the job for this guy. It's kind of like there's no history or, Silence of the Lambs kind of thing, where it's a long established character and there's some research to be done. So maybe it's something to do with the people she's been in contact with for. Spoiler alert, maybe. I don't know.
Ooh.
Agents of Shite. Yeah, that was a bit of a letdown. Very much a poor man's Heroes.
Yeah, I'm a bit on the fence. Like, I could see what they were trying to do, but they just didn't pull it off. I'm not sure if the next episodes are going to be good, or if it's going to continue along the same. There was pauses in the dialogue where they'd say stuff where you're like, well, they obviously thought people were going to laugh at that, and they didn't.
Coulsonisms.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just seemed to have that little bit off.
The whole, they tried some tie-ins to Iron Man 3 with, I suppose, some of the enemies and what they were sort of armed with. like that strain of that, not that, is it a virus or an injection or something?
Yeah, what was it called? Extremis.
Extremis, yeah.
That made
So,
people blow up.
so whether or not, that's moving forward, it's something that will improve. But that said, though, I mean, I watched Arrow as well, and I've watched every episode of Arrow, which is essentially a poor man's Batman. And yet I still watch
Oh,
it.
is that?
Yeah.
Okay, I haven't watched Arrow. I saw the ad and went,
Season 2 is just about to kick off in the States, apparently. Yeah, I mean, it's okay. I mean, again, it's got all the formula. It's got the formula down pat. You've got...
No, I just saw the ads where he was, what was he doing? Doing the chin-ups with the bar and like making the bar go up and up. And I was like, yeah, that guy's too fit for me. No, I'm not chin-ups. But
how can I relate to this character? Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's okay. I mean, they've got that formula. It's rich. See if you can detect any parallels with. I mean, I've given the game away considering I've just told you, but see if you can detect any sort of parallels with any sort of major franchise. You've got a guy, young, fit, and incredibly rich. Has access to significant funds and superhero training. He was marooned on an island or in a remote location for a number of years. And comes back and feels the need to save the city from certain destruction on a weekly basis. Did you guess
convenient.
it? Yeah. Jamie
Was
Oliver.
it?
Jamie Oliver was the answer.
Or Green Lantern.
Green Lantern. Yeah.
Green Hornet.
How many more shows
Well,
can
that's what
Jamie Oliver come up with? I mean,
Oh, yeah.
seriously.
Well, he's down to making a show about cooking in 15 minutes, which takes half an hour.
Or
So I'm
no,
not too much sure what else he can do.
you're one series behind, mate. They do one which is like cooking your leftovers.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Soph bought the book just the other day. The premise of it is
There's a book on cooking your leftovers.
No.
Wouldn't it just be chapter 1,
heat it
put
up.
it in the microwave?
No,
Is that Saving Jamie?
I think it's Saving Jamie. Yeah,
Yeah, Amy's got it too.
yeah. But credit to her. I mean, I'll
Waste of money.
I'll put anything. I'll watch anything that's put in front of me, kind of thing, from a TV sense, and I suppose eat anything that's put in front of me from a food sense as well.
Yeah.
So it kind of works out.
I don't. Yeah.
I suppose that's the
Doesn't
premise.
matter when it comes to cooking shows. I'll watch anything
That said, though, I completely
except for
turned off-
Cake Wars or whatever it is.
Oh yeah,
Fuck me.
I wanted Soph to go on that.
Oh.
No, the Great Aussie Bake Off or whatever it is.
Oh, that's yeah.
Yeah. Pretty soon we're going to get to the point where Jamie starts halving the time frames of all of his show titles until he gets down to 2 minutes.
Maybe in a minute and a half.
Well, it'll be 7.5 minutes, then it'll be 3 minutes, and then depending on what sort of is on the menu for 3 minutes, it might go down to 2 minutes, and then it's just going to be a packet of noodles.
Yeah.
Sponsored sponsored by Maggi.
Magic. Love their work.
Love their work.
It'll just then at the end it'll just be him eating,
Mm.
just like a close up on his mouth, just eating food.
Yeah. Hi everyone, welcome to 10-second meals. I'm your host Jamie Oliver. Thanks for watching. Oh.
Here's something I prepared earlier.
Yeah. Here's something that took me 3 hours that I prepared 4 hours ago that I'm eating now. Enjoy. Buy my book. Jamie Oliver /money. So I think we might end the show with a what the fuck story. I've got a few to choose from actually. There was one for, it's not such a what the fuck story, but there was just a really cool story which I think you guys are both car guys, as am I. Vintage Chevys on sale haven't been driven. 20,000 car enthusiasts from all over the world will visit 500 vintage Chevrolet cars and trucks most of which hardly have ever been driven.
Oh, I did hear about this.
It was one of
That's,
those warehouse stories.
yeah,
barn
the guy
finds.
used to own a car dealership, but his business model was not to lower the price or something. So some of the cars that never got sold, he just put them out the back, waiting for somebody to buy them.
Oh, okay.
And in the end, he's got thousands sitting in the car yard that never sold.
It's a 2-day auction that was held at the end of last month. I actually had it as a topic, but there was weird and wonderful stuff from previous shows that I think took precedence. Whereas this is more of a feel-good story, but still, holy crap, like, can you imagine? The screenshot that I'm looking at here has got 13 miles on the Odo.
Oh,
And it was a 1959 Bel Air and a 1960 Corvair Monza each have 1 mile on their Odo.
that's ridiculous.
Collector's dreams.
The oldest,
But I think some of them, unfortunately, were kept outside, weren't they? So they're a bit rusty and stuff.
yeah, there's quite a lot of surface rust on some of these 1950s
Still,
Chevys.
1 mile, though, surface rust.
Yeah,
It's easy. You can do that in your garage over the weekend.
unbelievable though.
It happens every now and because it comes up every single time we have one of these podcasts that I'm a huge Volkswagen guy. Mainly, air-cooled ones specifically, anything before 1967.
Yeah.
And every now and then in Germany, they'll find an old factory just full of old, split window Beetles, split oval Beetles, sorry. And I just blow my load whenever I see it, just because it's just, I want it like straight from the factory, just kept in a barn or a shed, and they've got old, split window combis, split oval Beetles, like everything just in perfect condition. And I just want to go over to Germany, buy one, and bring it back.
Well, maybe that's an idea for the new websites for Silk Road if they want to trade bitcoins for split window Beetles.
Yeah,
Sounds about right.
exactly.
Works for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I love a barn find story.
It reminded me of that one that I wasn't sure if it was a hoax or not, because it certainly got a lot of... it was one of those emails that comes sort of full circle. You see it and you go, holy crap, you tell people about it, and then you forward it on, and then it comes back. And then I'd heard it was a hoax or something, but I don't think it was. It was that other warehouse where every bit of floor space was just nose to tail. I mean, there was old like Miuras and all these other, early generation Lambos and limited edition cars that were just in a warehouse, all of which were all protected and not exposed to the elements, and again, like largely with really, really low miles on the clock, like super rare. And if you were to sell all of them based on market prices, you'd probably clear 30 million.
I haven't heard any with the Lamborghinis, but there is one that was in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
There was it was a faked video, but the barn with the cars in it does actually exist.
Mm-hmm.
There was a business owner, and he bought, his family had one of every Holden and Ford since they started making them in Australia.
Right.
And so they had one of each in this barn, and it was just nose to tail of every model. And there was a video where this guy pretends to break down, and he goes up to the barn to see if there's anybody there that can help him out, and opens the door, and it's just nose to tail of all these rare and unique Australian-made cars.
And that's not to say that they're all reliable, because what a segue. This is unbelievable. I went and got a coffee this morning and heard the unmistakable sound of a worked VC Commodore trying to be turned over that was just stranded in the middle of the intersection. Skillsy shooter, your karma enthusiast, decided to jump into the middle of the intersection, ask him if he needs to push to the
Cape
side.
Crusader.
Cape, yeah, didn't have my cape. latte crusader, pushed this thing. He was all dressed up in Sydney Roosters gear, so he was clearly going to get on it or go to the game or something. Had to get this guy to the altar on time, kind of thing. Pushed him to the side of the road. And appreciative, like all in a day's work.
Very nice.
Off I fly to get a latte. Manly. Yeah.
Skinny latte.
Always skinny latte. Yeah, these abs won't grate themselves. And I guess on the last story, residents of France's second largest city have called on Batman for help after a recent surge in violent crime. It's a mock
For real, they asked for Batman.
It's a mock petition, but I thought it was funny.
Oh, okay.
The mock online
I thought
petition.
it was something like the mayor or something said, we're going to hire Batman.
No, not quite as legit as that. The mock online petition and Facebook page entitled "Will It Take Batman to Save Marseille?" comes after a pensioner was shot dead last week after trying to stop a robbery, according to reports. Jacques Blondel, 61, knocked the robbers over with his car and then confronted them with a baseball bat and pepper spray after they just held up a tobacconist. He tried to reason with them and grabbed for their gun, but was shot in the thigh and stomach.
So he ran them over, pepper sprayed them and hit them with a bat and still got shot.
Yeah. He's 61, dude. It'd be like my dad trying to take down a team of
61, yeah.
a team of vigilantes. Not a team of vigilantes. A team of, yeah, I don't know. Marseille has also seen 13 gang-related killings this year, many thought to have been linked to the drugs trade. Criminal gangs are increasingly using heavy-duty machinery such as AK-47 assault rifles, thought to have arrived in the city through its Mediterranean seaport. Ben Affleck was not available for comment. The politician,
But
many
the
residents of
last Batman movie, didn't he go to France to sit at a cafe? Isn't that what happened?
Italy.
Italy.
Is it Venice or Tuscany?
I was going to say maybe it's just a sneaky ploy to talk up the next Batman movie.
He's just really trying to, figure out what European city he's going to settle in. And if it's London, then it's London. I imagine that would be quite a good segue. Batman. I'm going to fucking stab you, Batman.
Batman versus the soccer hooligans.
Batman versus Statham. That'd be sweet. What is it? But many residents are critical and say politicians are not doing enough. The petition says, today finished the sound bites and rhetoric. The city needs action. Or are we preparing to call more police and army than Batman? So clearly residents, I was in France earlier a couple of months ago. Have to say I didn't really see much drug-related crime. What the bloody... Ben? Oh, we've got two Bens.
Sorry.
Awesome picture that it froze on there, Ben.
I thought I was Ron for a second then. Jeez.
No. I don't know what happened. It just stuffed up.
It's going to have to be some creative editing in the suite there.
Sorry. I didn't do anything.
And he's gone. Oh, we must have offended him. He's gone. So, yeah. Kind of funny. Residents of France happy to call on fictional characters to solve their gun and drug-related crime. I'm available. Hell, I'll stay in Nice for the rest of the foreseeable future. Just sipping lattes.
We'll work for lattes.
We'll work for lattes / gelato / one of the best pizzas I've had, to be honest, in Nice.
In France.
In France, yeah. Well, it was in... Yeah, Nice is very close to the Italian border, so I'm assuming there was some sort of Italian influence to make such an awesome pizza. But I'll do it in Venice as well. Venice, Tuscany. Yeah, I'll do it for anything. So, shall we wrap the show up there, Lance?
Sounds pretty good.
There are football games to be watched and preparations that I need to do in order to get
Many beers to drink.
many beers to consume. So yeah, that was even though there's still the it was a 2-hour show still, which wasn't too bad. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. So next week we hopefully will have a guest. They have confirmed, so hopefully if that falls through, you won't look back at this video and go, "Holy shit, you lying scumbag, Skillsy." But yeah, hopefully he will be here. Oh, I said he. People know what sex it is.
Oh.
I
Spoilers.
thought it was a girl.
So, well, hopefully. Future show. So be sure to stay tuned for that. Hit subscribe if you haven't already, and follow me on Twitter and at Skillsy Shooter and at QuadFeed Podcast. So hopefully we'll see you all next week for next week's show. And thanks for watching. See you guys later. Bye.
See ya.